Good morning, traders. Welcome to the TMT Stock Market Strategy video for Tuesday, August 1st. Traders, we didn't see much of the inflows come in today. I thought really we might have gotten a little bit of a pop or a better move than we expected. Dow Jones did actually move higher, closer to that 22,000 milestone mark. And again, this is what we talk about, where the markets are absolutely in a sentiment phase, a last and final leg up, and it's just going to take another little catalyst. Aside from Donald Trump firing half of his cabinet members over the weekend, well, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying. Just literally 24.63.50, and the ES is holding up well. That's underneath the that 21 EMA. 24.80 will come into play, guys. That's Thursday's high. Just keep that in mind over here for resistance. Not going to be much resistance if you could look at this here area here. RSI is on a sell signal. MACD hasn't really moved quite yet, but if we continue to move sideways, it's just going to unwind the overbought reading, and then we'll see where we go from there. But again, we've had inside days for the last about 9 trading days now. We did gap up, we did get a little volatility for the day, but really not much to write home about. NQ. Now here's the thing that I'm seeing in these indices. The transport's major leader, it is our leader, and is really showing signs of really breaking down. Russell 2000, which I'll show you, of course, also breaking down. NASDAQ, NQ, our so-called FANG stocks, starting to have problems, starting to break down. Facebook had gotten downgraded today. So a lot of the valuation issues are starting to come into play. And like I mentioned for many, many months, if the FANG stocks top, the market will top. Why? Because it's been that big popular trade: buy a basket of FANG stocks and sell the VIX, and that's exactly what's happening. If you take the percentage gains out of the FANG stocks out of the market, you basically realize that the market has gone nowhere. Okay, and that's the only reason why this market is up, is because of those FANG stocks. Valuations are through the roof, and that's why this makes it a very dangerous market. So just keep that in mind. 21 EMA will come into play here, as you can see, for the last 3 days. 58, 68, 75, and then of course the upper and lower end of the TMT proprietary price channels here in green and in red. Crude oil, we had the commitment of trade reports come out yesterday. We talked about how the producers are starting to sell. Remember, not a timing tool. Remember, it's not a timing tool, but it's something that we want to keep an eye on for possibly at the end of the day today. The API number comes out, then we have crude at the Department of Energy that comes out at 10:30 on Wednesday. And we'll see. I expect a draw because we're in driving season. That does not alleviate the amount of glut of oil that's out there, the supply. So 51.50, 51.70, or $49 would be your 2 short entries, either below or above. Okay, so keep an eye on that for today's trade. ZB, we had an inside day for the last 4 trading days. Really, it's going to be the 154.56. That has to be taken out on a closing basis, or the 151.25. All right, and that'll get us pressure to the downside. Take out this area here. That'll run us up to the new swing high, or the older swing high, right up in here at 157. That's ZB. Gold, you can see GDX really haven't done anything. We had Chicago PMI that came out today, and really had the number got crushed, and that's telling us that we're in stagflation, and that's a good sign for gold. And I'd love to see gold come one more time. We've been talking about this right down to here, and then really get going. But if not, 24.50 really needs to get taken out, guys, before we go higher. That doesn't mean you can't take a long trade here with a stop below. It's just, for me, we've been up about 9 trading days, 10 trading days. So I'm looking for a pullback before I'm looking to get in GDX. I still think that gold's in a second stage bull market here. And then this is the GC contract. You can see that we're back into the apex of the triangle. Your big support is going to be 1249.50, 1294.60 is going to be the bigger area that needs to get taken out for a further move to the upside. That's GC. And right now, I wouldn't touch gold, and I wouldn't touch crude oil at the moment. I want to see a catalyst that's going to push crude to the downside, and then I would get active. Until then, let's wait for our objective target of 51.50 to 70 in crude oil. Spiders, same thing pretty much, guys. We've just been, we popped up, we sold off, pretty much inside day. 21 EMA at 248.48, and then of course the 50-day moving average at 243.41, and then the high of Thursday will come in at 248. Let's just round it off to 248. Here's the transportation sector with the Dow Jones, the Dow Theory sell signal. You can see the transports here really starting to break down. while the Dow Jones is making new highs. That is not going to be sustainable. Okay, unless unless the transports, excuse me, really play catch up, this will not be sustainable. Okay, so we'll be looking for as well a revision to the mean where we'll get the Dow Jones start to break down again and follow what the transports are doing. And you can see here clearly, close up picture, really not a bad looking, not a good sign. We had a breakdown, and then of course 3 days in, so we're still holding in here, but we lose this, we'll get to the 200-day moving average of 162.92. 170.81 will be your resistance in the transports. And then, of course, your secondary leader not leading as well. So there's tons of red flags out there. We have tons of divergence, right? Valuation through the roof, and that's why I say you could throw that out the window until something takes notice. Someone big enough that can start hitting the sell trigger. Guys, they're gonna keep buying the dip, and then until that happens, we'll get that capitulatory top. It doesn't have to happen, but I'm just saying, just be aware. We're in the summer doldrums. Easily can push the markets higher. 143.62, lower end of the TMT price channel, 140.36 support, and that's your resistance area. And then last is going to be your Qs. Same thing. Really starting to break down here. We really need to get down. If you really want to see this market go, we got to take this little gap area out. Gap area resistance of 140 down to the 139.20. Okay, that's way away. Let's first get to the 21 and the up lower end of the trend line area here. Your bigger support's going to come in at upper and lower end of the TMT price channels. Guys, what I'm doing is I'm reducing share size. I'm tightening up stops. I'm trading a little less than usual until the market starts to pick up steam, so I'm ready. Okay, and that's what I think you guys should do as well. All right, have a great day. Let's see what happens this week. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least.